Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Green Glow Gourmet. I'm your host, Roxanne, and for tonight's recipe, we will be making no grill sloppy joe tofu. So my setup is a little different now. I'm actually going to be cooking on my induction so you can see more of what it looks like as I'm cooking. So 4th of July is coming up this week, and everybody's going to be eating burgers and hot dogs and all that normal food that they usually eat. But if you're not eating meat or dairy, then you might want some alternatives. So you can make chickpea burgers, you can make this tofu sloppy joe that we're gonna make tonight. You can also get some great transition foods at the grocery store that do not have any meat. They're the mock meats. Just make sure you are reading the back of the box to look at the ingredients to pick the healthiest option that you can find if you're not making it yourself. So for this recipe, what we're going to do is we are going to use 1 16-ounce pack of the extra firm organic tofu that I get at Costco. I find that is the best price. And all I did was I went to Trader Joe's, I got my diced yellow onions. Whatever makes it easier for yourself. If you want to dice your own onions, do that. I prefer to buy them diced. And then I am going to saute them with water because I do not use oil. Then I crumbled up my tofu, and I'm just going to pour that in after my onions have been sauteing for about 5 minutes. So with the tofu, I just drain it. I freeze it overnight. And then the next day, I let it thaw, I open it, I pour all the water out, and then you can just crumple up the tofu. It crumbles so easily. Crumble it in the bowl and pour it right in on your pan. And you can also, once it's in here, you can make the pieces as large or as small as you like. It is your preference. And now you can see that I am just cooking the tofu in with the onions. And you can use as many onions as you like. But what the recipe calls for is a 1/4 cup of diced onions, a 16-ounce package of the firm tofu. I use the extra firm tofu. And then 2 to 4 tablespoons plus a 1/2 cup of water, which you always want to make sure that you do have some extra water as you're cooking, so that as it gets hot, you can pour it in so that it doesn't burn. And then for the barbecue sauce, you can make your own, but what I did was I got the Trader Joe's. I like the Trader Joe's organic Kansas City style barbecue sauce. So that is what we're going to use. And all you're doing is you're sauteing your onions, which I did first. I sauteed them for about 5 minutes. And I'm pouring in water as I needed as I was sauteing. And then I'm going to crumple up this tofu, which I did as it's cooking in the pan. You can also change the size. You can make it a little smaller. You can leave bigger chunks, whatever your preference is. And after you cook this over medium heat for about 10 minutes, you're going to then add your barbecue sauce and then cook it over medium heat for 30 minutes. And you really want to watch this because depending on what you're cooking on, this induction gets very hot. So right now I have this on 3, and you really have to stand over it and continuously move it around. And if you see that your pan is getting too dry on the bottom, you do want to add some liquid in there, and I'm using water. And then you're just going to pour your barbecue sauce in, and pour in as much or as little as you want for your flavoring. You'll be able to tell how much. You want it all to be coated. You want it to have a good flavor. You just pour a little at a time. This is a 19-ounce jar of barbecue sauce, and I probably used about half of it. You just want to mix everything in. Make sure that that barbecue sauce is covering everything. I always think anything that has a sauce, if you let it sit overnight, I always think it has a much better flavor the next day. but you are definitely able to eat this right away when you're making it either for dinner, lunch, or you're taking it with you to a party. You could take this with you to a 4th of July party. Don't tell anybody that it's tofu and see what they think. I guarantee with this texture and the way it looks, nobody would be able to tell the difference. What really makes a food taste good is the sauce that you're using. And this barbecue sauce is very delicious. So you're just gonna stir this, you're gonna continue to watch it, you're going to mix it all together, and you're gonna cook this for about 30 minutes. Now when you're using induction, things cook a lot faster. So this may be done for me in about another 10 minutes. So instead of the total time being 40 minutes, it's probably gonna take me half the time on this, which is great. When you're cooking with an induction cooktop burner, it takes significantly less time than if you're doing it on your oven. And with the tofu, it's already cooked. When you buy it in the store, it's cooked during processing. So all you're doing is heating it up. So now we're finished. I'm gonna turn this off. I actually found this induction cooktop burner at a Lidl grocery store for $30, which it works great. It was such a good price. You never know what you're gonna find in that store. And now with this Sloppy Joe, you could put this on any type of bun that you like. You could also put it on top of a salad. You could put it in a wrap. You could do whatever you prefer. I'm actually going to put it on a bun, and I am going to make this for the 4th of July. So I know everybody's gonna love it, and I'm not even going to tell them what it is until after they eat it. If you're interested in learning how to add more plants into your diet, you can visit my website at www.greenglowcoaching.com. If you want to learn about new recipes, subscribe to this channel. I come to you with a new recipe every week. Please feel free to comment if you have any questions. I do answer all of your questions as well. So now for the final taste test. So I'm just using a sourdough roll. And honestly, this looks like ground beef. Now for the taste test. This might be a little messy. This is delicious. Please try this. Tell me what you think. Let me know if you bring it to any 4th of July parties and what everybody said and what they thought it was. Here's to a healthier you. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day. I'll see you next week.